Good morning. Just to remind you, tomorrow we're going to start the liturgy, the Badarak, at 10 o'clock. Today we celebrate the feast of the Ascension of Saint Gregory the Illuminator from Virap. The Armenian Orthodox Apostolic Holy Church commemorates the lightener of the Armenian nation, Saint Gregory the Illuminator, 3 times a year. His entry into Virap, his exit from Virap, and the discovery of the relics. Virap in English is like underground cell, chamber as a prison, secret place, a pit or a well or a deep hole, a chasm or abyss, which means Khor Virap in Armenian. In 301, the Armenian people were the first to adopt Christianity as the state religion, and Saint Gregory the Illuminator and King Dertat III played a leading role in that sacred act. Armenian historiography through Akatankegos and other historians truly illuminates that path decorated with suffering but also with miracles, visions, and victories. According to the tradition, the fact that Christianity became the state religion in Armenia is closely linked to the martyrdom of the 37 and for some 40 virgins of Saint Hypsimians. The latter, fleeing the persecution of the Roman Emperor Diocletian, found refuge in the wine presses near the capital of Bagar Shabat. King Dertat, enchanted by the beauty of the Virgin Hypsime, wants to marry her, but being rejected, he orders everyone to be tortured to death without exception. But the martyrdom of the modest and holy Hypsime did not pass without consequences. The brave king fell into deep sadness and unbearable grief. Hypsime's radiant beauty tormented Dertat's soul, burned with the longing for love. The anguish of conscience agitated his whole being, and one day, while hunting, he began to go mad, and having gone out of his human nature, took the form of wild boars, as if one of them went to live among them, according to Akatankegos, the historian. Thus, the king's severe mental experiences gave rise to a disease called swine fever. The king leaves the palace and wanders in a swampy place. His illness is becoming more and more worrying. The king's relatives and servants, except for Princess Khosrovitur, also contracted the same disease. Sometime after that incident, the king's sister Khosrovitur sees a vision in which God reveals that only Grigor, imprisoned in Khor Virap, can heal her brother. When Khosrovitur recounts this vision to the courtiers, they considered it absurd that Grigor was alive for 13 years in the underground prison of the condemned and instead of believing, they begin to mock and say, "The bones of a man who has been in the dungeon for 13 years have now turned to dust." The same vision is repeated 5 times. After the insistence of Princess Khosrovituk, one of the ministers, Oda Amaduni, is sent to the city of Artashat to get Grigor out of the dungeon. When they arrived at the aforementioned place and lowered the long and thick ropes, suddenly, to the surprise of those present, someone grabbed it, and they pulled it up and saw that its body was charred, black as coal. They immediately put on clothes and joyfully set off from the city of Artashat to the city of Vagarshapat. The mockery and laughter of the courtiers turned to surprise, and surprise to fear. When Grigory sees the suffering Tertat, he is deeply moved and, kneeling, begins to pray fervently. This scene makes a shocking impression on the king. He and his ministers also kneel before Gregory and say with tearful eyes, "We beg you, forgive us our crimes that we have committed against you. I am also a man like you." Gregory replies, "You should know your Creator, the Creator of heaven and earth. He can heal you." In Vagarshabat, Gregory first interred the remains of the martyred Virgin and built 3 shrines, established a 5-day fast for repentance, which is still observed in the Armenian church today and is called in Armenian Arachavoratz Bach fast. Then, for about 66 days, he preached the teachings of Christianity and healed the king with prayers. And the king, while standing among the people in form of a pig, suddenly trembled, and the pig skin on his body, along with his hideous fangs and wrinkled face, fell off. His face regained its original form, and his body became soft and youthful, like a newborn child, and his entire body was completely healed. The king and the entire court, immediately after the baptism, became Christian, declaring Christianity the state religion in 301. Gregory's only desire was to enlighten the people living in darkness with the light of God's true gospel and to lead them to spiritual revival. 2 months after the healing of King Tertat, the only begotten Savior appeared to Gregory the Illuminator, descending from heaven in lights. In a miraculous divine vision, the Illuminator was shown the place of the foundation of the Mother Cathedral. The Lord also commanded to build shrines at the places of the martyrdom of the Holy Hripsime Virgins. The Armenian Church celebrates the feast of the exaltation of Saint Gregory the Illuminator on the Saturday following the feast of Saint Hripsimians and Saint Kayanians and preceding the feast of Holy Echmiadzin, which we will celebrate it tomorrow. On that day, divine liturgy is served in all churches. So let us be awake in our beliefs and believe in the enlightenment of Christianity. May God bless you all abundantly. And as I said in the beginning, please don't forget, tomorrow the Holy Liturgy, Badarak, will start at 10 o'clock.